Now we are going to discuss the receipt voucher. The receipt voucher we are going to use when the amount is received in the form of cash or in the form of check from the others. We are going to enter use with receipt voucher. That means the actual cash or the amount in the form of check when received, we are going to use the receipt voucher. So here it will be better understand by solving the simple the transactions. See here in this, I have taken the five journal entries. Mahesh commenced business with cash rupees 50,000. Commission received by check rupees 1,500. Cash received from Arun rupees 25,000. Cash sales rupees 25,000. Dividend received by check from MNC Limited rupees 6,000. So here we are familiar with doing the journal entries. The same here in the table. I have created the journal entries. First one is Mahesh commenced business with cash. That means when businesses get into commence, the cash is to be invested by the Mahesh. Here is Mahesh is the proprietor. He is invested the cash into the organization. When cash is invested into the organization, cash come into the organization. So here the cash is received. So when cash comes in into the organization, as per the real account rule, debit the receiver, sorry, debit as per the real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here in this, cash come into the organization. So here cash account debit to Mahesh capital account. He is the giver. Personal account, Mahesh is a person. As per the personal account rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here Mahesh is the giver, he is a proprietor. So cash given by the Mahesh, so he is the creditor. I have credited with what? Mahesh capital account. Second one is commission received by check. See, commission received in the sense the commission we have taken. How? By way of check. That means the amount is get into credited throughout the bank. So here the general entry is what? Bank account debit to commission. And third one is what? Cash received from around rupees 25,000. Here we are going to receive the cash from the Arun. He may sundry debtor. Earlier he may be taken over the goods in the form of credit. Now if we going to pay the money, we are going to receive the cash. That means cash come into the organization. Debit what comes in. Cash is the real account. Cash account debit to Arun account. Amount is 5,000, 5,000. And the next one is the cash sales rupees 25,000. Whenever we have sold out any materials or the goods from the organization, when we have sold out the goods, cash come into the organization, isn't it? So here cash account debit to sales account. And last one is what? Dividend received by check from MNC Limited rupees 6,000. Suppose the amount is invested by the organization to other organization in the form of shares. Commonly, the organizations have declared the dividend in the form of consideration to the shareholders. So here our organization invested certain amount in the form of shares into the MNC Limited, so far as the dividend given by the MNC Limited in the form of check, so far as the bank account is to be get into debited. That dividend means what? That is a consideration of a shares. So here in this, the bank account is get into debited and credited with MNC Limited. Here this is a manual procedure commonly we are going to use for preparing the journal entries. The same journal entries we need to be passed over use with the Tally ERP9. So here whenever we intended to pass the journal entry, before going to pass the journal entry, we need to create all the ledgers. So here I have created the ledgers. Here see in the list of ledger that will contain Arun account, bank account, cash account, commission account, Mahesh capital account, MNC Limited, and sales account. By default, profit and loss account and cash account have get into created. You need not necessary to create the ledgers. You need to create only the excluding cash account as well as the profit and loss account. So now here the ledger have get into created. After creating the ledgers, we need to pass the journal entries. At previous class, I was said to use the vouchers. So here the same process we are going to be applied for the passing the journal entries for concerning with for receipt vouchers. Go for the gateway of tally. Click on accounting vouchers. When you click on accounting voucher, by default the payment voucher get into appeared. I have said as well in earlier class. Here in the button panel that contain the voucher receipt, or you may press the shortcut key function key, that is F6 from the keyboard, or you have to click the receipt button from the button panel. When you click over it, the receipt voucher is getting to open. Here in this you need to pass the journal entries. So here in this, the first one is what? Cash account debit to Mahesh capital account. Cash account debited to Mahesh capital account. Because when the commenced the business, cash come into the organization. So I am going to use the receipt voucher as well. I have said here in this enter credit what? Mahesh capital account. Select and press the enter key and enter the amount. I have entered the amount 50,000. Press the enter key and debit with cash. Debit with the cash and write the narration. Being commenced business with cash investment. Then press the enter key. Accept yes. If you click on yes, the journal entry creation is get over. I click on yes. One journal entry is completed. Now going to pass the second one. Commission received by check. That means the commission is what? That is an indirect income. Commission is a indirect income. Here we are going to receive not the cash. Instead of that we are receiving the check. So far as bank account debit to commission. Here the same we are going to pass the journal entries. Credit with what? Commission account. Or you may get it to create it as a commission received. Right. So here in the commission the amount is 1500. Enter 1500 and debited with what? Bank account. Bank account. And here that will ask you to enter the detail of check or DD, its number and all. Here you have to enter it and write the narration. Being commission received by check. Right. Then press yes button from accept dialog box. Now next entry, that is cash received from Arun. When cash received, he is giver. Cash is a real account. Arun is the personal account. As per the real account rule, debit the receiver. That means what? Cash account debit. From Arun, he is the giver because personal account rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. So here Arun account is credited. Cash account debit 5,000 and credited with Arun account. The same going to enter. That is what? Credit with what? Arun account. Amount is 5,000 and debit with what? Cash. And write the narration. Being cash received from Arun and click yes button from accept dialog box. And next entry, that is cash sales. Whenever we have sold out the goods, cash come into the organization. Cash is a real account. And sales, the such a amount we are going to be received from the sales. So here cash account debited to sales and pass the same entry here. Credit with what? Sales. See the amount. The amount is 25,000. Credit with what? Sales 25,000 and debit with cash 25,000 and write the narration being cash sales made, being cash sales made. Click yes button from accept dialog box. And last entry is what? Dividend received by check. So here bank account debit to MNC Limited account. Pass the journal entry. Credit MNC Limited. Amount is 6,000 and debit with bank account 6,000 and write the check details and all and write the narration being being dividend received by check. Click on yes. So here totally we was passed the 5 journal entries. The same we may be see on to the report. Here we have passed the journal entry. I will press the escape key. If you want to see the all 5 entries, click onto the display button. Here get into open the daybook. Onto the daybook that will shows the list of the transaction what you have made in the daybook. See here all the entries I have created 1/4/2021. The date I have entered the same. So here the daybook will be getting to open along with the details. Mahesh capital account, commission, Arun account, sales account, and MNC. Suppose you want to see the details, just you have to double click over it. That will shows the detail. Like this, the procedure we are going to be applied for creating the receipt voucher into the Tally ERP9. This much is much more enough. Thank you.